All right, now that we've got the blue view, let's go ahead and add the green view as well. So first I'm going to drag and drop a new view onto the canvas, and as a first action I'm going to make it green. All right, let's start with the trailing edge. That's simple because the trailing edge, in the same way as we did before with the leading and the top edge here of the blue view, we're just going to go down here, and we're saying that it should have a distance of 0 to the nearest neighbor here on the right side, which is the trailing edge of the canvas. So let's add this constraint. As expected, auto layout is now complaining because we started adding constraints but only told it about where to place it on the x-axis. So let's now go and add the width. And the width we know for the green view should be half the width of the blue view. If we want to relate two objects one to another in storyboards, we control drag from the green view to the blue view, which is the second view that we want to use for the relation. We want to relate them by their width. And then we need to modify the constraint in the same way as we did in code. We're using the multiplier 0.5. And we've created the correct constraint for the width. And auto layout now expects us to add a constraint for the Y position and for the height. Let's actually start with the Y position. So we want to make sure that the green views center on the vertical axis, which is the Y axis, should be the same as the center for the blue view. So the center of on the Y axis for the blue view will be around here. So this height. So let's just go create this relationship. Let's say center vertically, and we've created this constraint. And now finally, we just need to add a constraint for the height of the green view, and that's going to be related to itself, to its width. But unfortunately, we can't do it in the same way as we did in code. When we related it to itself, we can't say that the green view should have the same, should have the same height as its wide. So the way how we can express this here in Interface Builder is by telling it it should have the same aspect ratio, because we already told it, or we can specify a constraint for the aspect ratio because we already told it the value for the width. And if we now specify an aspect ratio of 1:1, auto layout can infer that the height should be the same as the width. So let's select aspect ratio here. And now we already see that basically the red arrows disappeared. We only have the warning. If we update the frames right now, the values won't be correct yet, but we can fix this really quickly by just adjusting the aspect ratio, which is currently set to 15:8. So this multiplier has just to be set to 1:1. And there we've got our square, and all the relationships are exactly as we expected and as we created them in code.